being this, he's Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, like it's the biggest pop superstar in the world. I would love to say this, that I've heard his next album in private.
Whoa.
I told him you should listen to Divine. He's amazing, and a bunch of other artists, and he was literally like making a list, like you should listen to Arijit and stuff like that. Indian artists are also getting their time to shine, while international artists are obviously coming and touring. There have been situations where my team has advised me going on stage could result in the stage falling. Ready?
Yeah.
Beauty of live vibes.
Guys, I absolutely love this guy. We have history. We go back a long way. And I always feel that any success of his, all you Armanians partake in that success, but I do too. My name is Hrishi K and Armaan Malik in the house. Pehla Nasha 2.0 is on all streaming sites, hopefully on all radio stations. Please go stream it, listen to it. It's a terrific take by the brothers, by the Malik brothers, Amaal and Armaan, on what truly is one of the biggest classics in Indian cinema. What's up, my brother? Good
How
to
are
see you,
you?
man.
How's it going?
Lovely. And I walked in. He's such a wonderful guy. Anybody asks him for time, he will give him time. And I've one of my new recruits in the office, the handsome Rohan from South Bombay, had already started taking advantage of him, saying reels, this, that. And I said something which I really mean from the bottom of my heart. I said, just because he's a nice guy, don't forget that he's a massive star. His time is worth millions. So great to see you. And you know, what a fantastic phase for you. Your friend Ed Sheeran and you,
Yes.
back on stage again together.
Yep.
I saw a beautiful video which just made me weep, of a concert of yours where you brought this couple up.
Oh, yes.
And it was just a moment for the ages, man. I mean, it's so beautiful. And at the end of the day, what are we without our listeners, without
100%.
people, without our fans,
100%.
and without enabling them to share their love?
So true.
And now Pehla Nasha comes in. So
Yeah.
you think this is one of those, every artist has phases
Yeah.
in their elongated career. You think this is one of those, golden phases with many more to come?
I think it's, firstly, I just want to thank you for taking out time as always. And I'm so glad that I'm here speaking with you. My beginning as an artist was you literally screaming the name Armaan Malik, take the stage. And that was at my album launch, Armaan, back in 2014.
Yeah.
So it feels full circle actually now.
10 years, bro. My God, it flies by, no? Whoa.
Speaking to you feels really amazing because there's so much that's happened since then, and all these dreams that I had shared on that stage and with you in person, they've so many of them have come true. So many I didn't even dream of have come true. So it's beautiful to be speaking to you about it firstly. And this past month has been extremely special for me because I've been doing concerts all across India. And something I take a lot of pride in, because a lot of people just go to like a few cities, but I love going all across India, everywhere. And I was in Bengaluru and I was doing a Valentine's show, and I got this couple on stage. Randomly, we just got the team to pick out a couple from the audience and just bring them on stage, and I dedicated this new version of Pehla Nasha to them as he was going full SRK with his girl, and it was really beautiful and heartwarming to see, because I know that my songs have played a big role in people's love stories over the years, and even in mine. So that it's beautiful to see that come together and see a guy actually professing his love to another girl at my concert, and just going all out. That's what concerts are. That's what music does, and it binds people, it brings people together. And I think that memory is going to be a core memory for them and for me, making sure that whole circle of artist, song, fan, listener, audience, back to artist, that whole thing gets completed as a chain, and I think it's just beautiful for me.
Yeah, and the thing about Ed Sheeran and yourself is, I mean, you obviously enjoy each other's company a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't seem to be about only getting on stage.
At all.
It's more about just hanging out with each other.
I mean,
just spending time with each other.
The best part about him is that, not once have I ever asked him, okay, let's do another song together, or let's get into the studio or whatever. We're just chilling together, having fun, eating good food. And I would love to say this, that I've heard his next album in private.
Whoa.
So it's
Yeah, I mean,
it's just
the Sheeras are going crazy because he's been putting up
he's
these
been teasing.
cryptic things like,
Yes.
I'm in Goa.
Yeah.
Here's my mandolin player. Here's my guitar player.
He's
You know?
he's literally, I feel like, ingested India into his system, and it's beautiful to see how he has done it. He's done it in such an innocent, genuine manner. Literally, he wanted to immerse himself in the culture here, make sure that he is meeting all the right musicians. And when I was talking to him, he was almost. He just got his iPad out and he was like, okay, who are the cool artists that I should listen to here? And like, I told him you should listen to Divine, he's amazing, and a bunch of other artists, and he was literally like making a list, like you should listen to Arijit and stuff like that. And you saw him on a bike with Arijit the other day. So it's beautiful to just see how humble he is. He's Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, like it's the biggest pop superstar in the world, selling out stadiums like it's a joke.
It's a joke, yeah.
So it's beautiful to just see him as a human. I think that was what really changed our equation, and we've become friends and brothers, more importantly than just collaborators. And I think that is a more beautiful relationship that I would love to have with another artist. And that's when eventually you have a lot more respect for one another. Like, obviously, they always say, like, don't meet your favorite artists or stars. They might disappoint the image that you have in their head.
Yeah.
Honestly, he debunked any image that I might have had in my head. I always knew he was a good guy and just a great human being. I just feel like when I met him, he was 10 times the human being that I thought that he was.
So, what is his favorite Armaan song? Does he like You? Does he like Sleepless Nights? What's his jam?
Actually, he has not delved that deep into my discography, which I think I should get him up to speed with that. But I haven't really, like, you know how I am.
You're
know?
not the
I'm not the
pusher,
pushy. I'm not the pushy guy. We've literally just he was so eager to play his songs to me. So I was like, I'm not going to play any of mine. I just want to absorb as much as I can. And he played me some of the songs from his new record, and they were just fabulous. And the way he's just like so inspired by where he is right now in India and all the creative stuff that's happening. But yeah, I think it's just on a human level, we're really connected. And he usually doesn't take two-step on his concerts. And he's like, literally, I have to relearn the song because I don't usually play it. And we did a 40 minute jamming session in his green room before the concert. And he had his looper thing out and he was showing me how he goes about it and stuff like that. Just sharing that with one of my heroes. I mean, honestly, I sang Perfect as a cover a few years back, and to be in the same room listening to his new album, no one on the planet has heard it, and just like sharing life, the thoughts about life and music and stuff with him is just beautiful. Just to be in that space for me, and then obviously I have a bunch of new music coming out, which I'm very excited about in English as well. So
that's lovely. That's lovely.
Yeah.
So the main reason he's here is Pehla Nasha 2.0 is just gone through the roof. It's lovely. For those of you who've enjoyed the original, which is Madhuru Saab's lyrics and Jatin Lalit's music.
Legendary song.
This one is actually, in a lot of ways, the sound is a classic sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it goes into, there's a portion when it just goes into the tabla and it goes into the dole. It goes into
it's Indian I-pop reimagined.
Yeah.
In a way. There's a lot of essence of the original in it. If you hear the M1, which is that dang, da, dang, da, dang, da, 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 dang, da, dang. We've retained that, but we've kept like a nice R&B beat going on behind, which was obviously not there in the original. And then the chorus switches to a Qawwali section.
Correct.
From a complete pop chorus. So I think those changes, Amaal has just, beautifully deconstructed the song. The original theme melody is the mukhda of the song now. Dang, dang, that's Dil Mera, Mera Hi Raha Nahi. So I don't think anyone, I have massive respect to Amaal because he usually doesn't touch a song to be remade unless he feels he can give full justice to it. So when he sat and played me this version, I was like, dude, I don't think anyone could have imagined it the way you did it and like pieced it the way you did. So he made the music piece, which is so iconic, the mukhda of the song. and he added a Qawwali section and small tweaks Rashmi Virag has done to Majru Saab's lyrics, which was
Amaal
anyway
loves
very...
Rashmi Virag.
Yeah,
Amaal loves
I
Rashmi
mean,
Virag.
I love Rashmi Virag as well. Like, honestly, the three of us have come up with such amazing songs together. Main Rahun Ya Na Rahun,
Yeah.
Bol Do Na Zara, Tere Mere, just a bunch of classics from our own discography. So it was a no-brainer for us to kind of rope him into rewrite on Majru Saab's lyrics, which itself is a very
daunting task,
scary and daunting task. I remember Virag sir just like sharing with me, like, मुझे जब बोला था कि we have to do this, he's like, how will I even attempt to change the lyrics? But he's done a fabulous job. Small tweaks here and there that don't, obviously harm the essence of the song, the original essence. It's come out really beautifully. I've played it out at some of my concerts recently, and the response has just been phenomenal. I think the best way to test a song and test how people reacted is at a live concert, and you get a real-time understanding, okay, yeah, this is what people are really liking.
Now I'm going to ask the question that all Armanians are asking, saying, why aren't you in the video?
Why am I not in the video?
I tell you, I kid you not.
Yeah.
But there are fans of yours who would given an arm and a leg to see you do that famous Amir Khan jump step.
That
you know which
jump
one I'm
step,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah, the one on
Gets
the...
on the bench and then he moves.
I know.
Which in the original, of course, Farah Khan choreographed it.
Yes.
And it's so beautifully captured in slow-mo in the original. And they've done the directors of this current video have also done a great job on that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I mean, you're obviously not the kinds who will go to a record label and say, I need to be in the video.
No,
But,
I honestly,
still.
this came to me super like just last minute. I think they all made the song first. Amaal and Virag sir got together with the label. They made the song. They curated the full universe for it, and then they were like, who should we get to sing it? And I think by then they had already thought of casting Abhay and Pragati, who's also the co-singer with me on the song.
Correct. I was going to come to her.
Who has a pretty face as well. So it's good to see her on screen as well. And I really like Abhay as well from Munjia, that movie that blew
the
up.
ghost one.
Yeah, and he was very good, impressive in that, and I'm so glad that they got him on board for this. I don't really necessarily feature myself in songs that I feel like, okay, maybe I'm not required in the music video scenario of things. I'll do my bit as the singer and move forward, because I have a lot of like my own non-film projects that I curate, independently.
True.
And then I'm like, okay, I want to do something which I have like birthed and I have curated, and I'm the video in those songs. That's somewhere where I come from. But like this was already kind of like made, and they were thinking, who should we get on board? And obviously everyone always thinks Amaal wants Armaan, but that was not the case. I mean, Amaal was always like wanting the best singer for every song, but literally the label was like, it's February, it's Valentine's.
Yeah.
Armaan is he sings like love songs. It's like his strength, and like I've sung songs like Pehla Pyar from Kabir Singh and Sab Tera from Baghi, and it just feels this feels home for me. This kind of a record.
So, Loy Mendonza was telling me this, saying that, how difficult it is to have a next of kin or a relative in the same business.
Yeah.
So he says, I never suggest, Loy told me this, I never suggest Alicia, his daughter, to sing a song.
Yeah.
Until Ehsan and Shankar say, hey, listen, she should do this one.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
So I think that, coming from Amaal's point of view, probably he feels the same way.
But he always literally, he's told me, the thing is, a lot of his compositions have certain inflections which he thinks that, okay, Armaan will do it this way when he sings it. And he composes certain things certain ways, and he's like imagined it in my voice already.
Correct. But he needs that record label or somebody to turn around and say, let's do this.
By default, we have always been part of the song creation process, and I have sung most of his scratches or rough dubs, and then it goes out to say an Arijit or like whoever, because we have a very strong unit at home. Like Dad maintained, Amaal and Armaan are two different identities. They operate differently, but yes, they come together as well. So I think that freedom I've always given Amaal, and Amaal's given me, like, because we I sing with a lot of composers. Amaal composes for a lot of singers. So it's beautiful to see us sometimes go out, do our thing, and then come back again. I see our relationship like Phineas and Billy, in a way.
That's a lovely one.
Yeah, because I don't think.
What a brother sister duo. Amazing.
Yeah, they don't do music otherwise.
Yeah.
They are free. They're 99% of the times they have collaborated together. Phineas makes almost all the songs for Billy, and I think it's literally the same. It's home for me. I mean, Amaal is my most trusted songwriter that I have. So I feel like it's just our union is something that our fans really look forward to, given the fact that we have so many songs that have done so well together and have fans of their own. All these songs have had Armalians of their own, Armanians, all of them together. So I think me and Amaal coming together, and obviously when we put Rashmi Virag into the mix, we have such a good, trajectory and what we have been doing together. So Pehla Nasha was bound to happen, and people really loved what we have done to it. So yeah.
Pragati, I mean, she shared vocals with you on this. She's also acting in the main video.
Yeah.
Just your thoughts on her as emerging talent.
I met her during the promotions of the song very briefly. We did like a acoustic rendition of the song, and she has a beautiful voice. She's got a really good presence, I feel, as well. So definitely, if everything goes right the way it should for an artist, I think she has a very, very bright career ahead of her. I'm talking like an uncle right now, sorry. But it's genuinely good to see. I don't know, I see like little Armaan in so many people, like when I meet them, young artists who are up and coming and doing their thing. And it's beautiful to see how excited they are with everything that's happening around them. And that excitement should just be maintained. I think that is what makes
and I think the best advice you can give them as somebody who's been in the business actively for 10 plus years is that retain your inherent authenticity.
I think there's an innocence.
A lot of record labels I find are changing the personality type of the person.
DNA.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. That's why the only thing, that's why I said that excitement that is there currently should be there throughout the journey.
Yeah.
So for me as an artist, I think my biggest strength is my honesty to my craft, and I've always been very innocent with my music, and it's never been a pretense. Whether it's an image or a video that goes out on my socials as well, it's very me. It's not like, oh, this is very constructed or whatever. Even though we obviously like cleaning up ourselves, wearing the shiniest of clothes and like getting glossy photo shoots done. But at the end of the day, it's still a very Armaan image or a very Armaan video or an Armaan thing to say or do. So I think that is something that most of them should retain, who they are as people. And obviously, a lot of environments create changes, not to get bogged down with that. And I hope that happiness of like a new release always remains there. Because usually we are like so numb. Like this is probably my 230th or 40th release or whatever it is. I've not even kept count. Almost 300 songs I think I've sung in multiple languages. But I still have that excitement about each song when it comes out. So I think that shouldn't go away for any artist.
Great advice for all you people setting out in the business. Also essential listening for you guys. If you like Pehla Nasha 2.0, it's been about 6.5 years since that song released. It is Amaal and Armaan's take on Ghar Se Nikalte Hi, which is one of my personal favorites.
Yeah.
If you're looking at songs which have been remade but yet have retained the innocence of the original, but there's a refreshing sound. Maybe you guys should go check that one out because it's lovely. So, we are in a phase now where there's so much of interest in gigging, and thank God for that.
Yeah, for sure.
The crowds are finally coming out. I think it's a post-pandemic effect. Gigs are in, as Coldplay and Ed Sheeran and Maroon 5 have proved. If they come in, then the infrastructure also slightly goes up. Diljit at the other end of the spectrum has not said very flattering things about our infrastructure. Are we improving is my big question.
We are, because in order to have world-class events in our country, we have to up our game. A lot of event venues are still not up to date with acoustics, with crowd management, with security, or like safe. In general, they're just not meant to hold a up their concert yet, which is changing. I mean, I used to be really happy that at one point there used to be a Blue Frog in our city. There used to be such amazing
Live venues,
in our city. But now I think there are a few venues, but also those venues are only for like mega stars, like people who can pull at least like say 8 to 10k or 10k plus kind of audiences. And for that to happen, there's obviously a lot of marketing, push, all of that requires. There's a paraphernalia which is important. But other than that, I think smaller venues should be there. There should be more theaters. There should be more halls. There are obviously some really iconic halls we have, but they're not up to date. And, like they're still like there's a lot of things like falling down and like creaking and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say we are not ready. I wouldn't say we are ready completely. We're getting there. And I think if it's anything to go by, the last few years has just been phenomenal from a concert festival experience for Indian audiences. Everyone wants to come out to see shows. Everyone wants to see new artists. And I'm glad that Indian artists are also getting their time to shine, while international artists are obviously coming and touring. Our homegrown acts are getting a lot of love. And it's important. It's important that we do more for the scene. I feel like a lot of event companies, a lot of organizers, a lot of investors have started already putting their brains together and like coming up with venues, which in the next, I would say 5 years, 3 to 5 years, we'll have a lot of like small good venues coming up. We have like a Dome in Mumbai, or like Nesco in Goregaon, and then there's...
I don't even mind the Baikula one where Mahindra
Ballard is-
I-Rock happened.
Okay.
It's called the Princess Docks.
Okay.
They had Mahindra I-Rock there for 2 years.
Was that
and
good?
it's
A
got-
good experience?
Very nice, yeah. I mean, it's an open air thing, and it's the eastern seafront. That means before you get onto that Atal Setu, that kind of
Got it,
area.
got it.
A little out of the way, but with more connectivity of roads and trains, I think
We're
we'll
getting
get
there. It's not that we're not getting there, but it's just we don't have everything we need right now. A lot of these artists, not a lot of people know this, but they bring their own gear, they bring their backline, they bring a lot of stuff on planes here in the city. A lot of things are not available here also from an inventory perspective, but we do have a lot of stuff as well. So it's either or. It's not like, oh, we don't have infrastructure at all. There are ways to put a show together, but yeah, put a show of international standards. I think we have shown that we have been able to in Ahmedabad. That Coldplay concert is incredible. Incredible. So we know that India is capable of doing that. But then again, that's Coldplay in a stadium. We are talking about the 80% of the other artists and other bands and other venues that have to capacitate those concerts. So that is still happening. It will happen in the next 3 to 5 years. I think we'll just be one of the hottest touring destinations for everyone.
It's crazy, but we're so good at handling cricket stadium crowds.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like I just don't get it.
But concerts we're not able to do.
But it's
I think the cops and the administration take cricket matches very seriously.
But I'm seeing a lot of. It's crazy to say this, but I see a lot of people gaining more interest for musical concerts versus other stuff. That, you know, everyone used to go out only to watch a movie or go watch a cricket match. But now today people are ditching those and going for a music concert. And that's, for me as a musician, I'm not saying that should happen. Equal measure should happen for all three things. Because obviously I have one part in Bollywood as well as a singer. So we would love for people to come to the cinemas. But it's so beautiful for people to come out to concerts now and watch artists live, because that wasn't a thing before. I'm glad it's become a thing, or it's become trendy, or whatever it is. And I hope that this sustains and keeps moving forward. It's great for musicians.
How are things in the smaller cities, for example? Now, obviously as an artist you have a rider. Lots of times you go into smaller cities. A lot of the riders not taken care of.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, some people will tell you, Armaan, you've got to throw a fit now. If you don't throw a fit, things don't happen. But then you say, why should I spoil my mood? I'm here to come and do a concert. Let's try and do the best we can.
Yeah.
But is that improving? Also because what happens in smaller towns is that some promoters take on gigs for the sheer greed of it. If I get Armaan or if I get Arijit, I will get a full house. I'm likely to make money in my small town, which is big for me.
I'll become a king.
I'll become a king. You know, that greed factor.
Yeah.
Where a lot of the rider, a lot of the
not
essentials is not met. Is
Yeah.
that changing? The smaller town scene getting a little
Oh,
better?
it's about finding the right promoters. I think in the last few years we've worked with a bunch of organizers and promoters, and we've had our fair share of turbulences where some of the riders have not been even like followed 40%. Like they're just like the bare minimum is there. That's it. Like not the works that we need. And today's concerts can't just be like, okay, plug, play and sing.
Correct, man. The audience wants more.
You need an
Yeah,
experience. You
yeah.
need your fireworks. You need your SFX and gerbs and pyros and everything. I mean, the works. We need all of that as part of the experience. So again, they do give some of those. Might not be of the same quality that you get, say, in Mumbai, Delhi, or your major cities. So there are times where I'm on stage and there's a pyro thing happening, and then suddenly I'm coughing because the quality of the FX is not up to the mark and it's not clean, stuff like that. And then there's wiring, buzzing that happens because obviously the tech and equipment that these people have in those towns is not up there. But thankfully for me as an artist, I've been able to maintain a simpler rider which I can execute in most cities without having to compromise on my act. There are times where I said, let the show go on, because I'm like, people have come from far wanting to see me paid. Don't want them to have a bad taste in the mouth. But there have been situations where my team has advised me going on stage could result in the stage falling.
Oh my God.
Because the bass in your songs will rattle and and shake things and it'll fall. And I've been like, but there are 12,000 people. What will we tell them? And then we modify the set. We won't take the drums on stage. We'll take an electronic kit, or we'll remove the grand piano, keep only keyboards, as much weight as we can keep lesser. So this happened to me in a gig in Kolkata, and it was not something that was up to the mark, but we made it happen. But these are not scenarios that artists should be forced to comply with or forced to go ahead with. It should not happen at all. So now as a practice, my team flies a day earlier to make sure that the stage is all set up, all strong, all the foundation is great for safety, obviously. Secondly, to make sure that entry exits are marked and there's medical services. Like that KK incident was just
I still get goosebumps just thinking about it.
Yeah, so that
it could have been prevented.
Shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened. I mean, it's just negligence on part of the promoters, the venue itself. I've performed at that venue, and I know it is claustrophobic. It was quite claustrophobic for me itself. And when you have SFX and smoke and haze and lights and everything, it can cause that ripple effect on someone who's, I think, also KK played 3 nights back to back in that same venue.
The same venue. Yeah.
So it's just sad. I mean, it's just one of my favorite singers, one of my favorite human beings.
Yeah, human beings. If families lose people, and if we can change that, we have to.
So I wouldn't completely disagree with when Diljit said that we don't have the right infrastructure yet, and I feel like we are working towards it. It's not to say we can't do it. We can do it. There's a lot of things we have done. Ahmedabad is a bright, shiny example of what can happen in India. And if it's happening in Ahmedabad, it can definitely happen in a Mumbai or a Delhi and all these cities where anyway all these artists come and perform. Ed Sheeran brought his biggest show to Mumbai last year, which was that circular stage which has the most complex trussing ever. And I never thought that Mumbai could ever make that happen, but it did. We can do it. So it's just about it costs. I mean, it's money at the end of the day. I get it, and it's obviously there has to be a working revenue model for the promoters and everyone involved. But we have to take things in our hand. Artists have to also put their foot down, and all have to work together. But in the next 3 to 5 years, I see it happening, 100%.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And fingers crossed on that. And really, with guys like you constantly touring in the smaller cities, there's the love for music is there everywhere.
Yeah.
The person in Kolkata loves it much as much as the person in Pondicherry. If you can only give them a healthier experience,
100%.
then all will be well. To me, one of the most exciting things about your career has been the collaborations.
Yeah.
I mean, this morning I pulled up a playlist which gave me you and Eric Nam, Control,
Echo. Yeah.
Echo, sorry.
Yeah.
You and Lost Stories, which is a fantastic track, which I love.
Are you talking about Heer?
Heer,
Yeah.
Hiir, they spell it. And then Weber Pani from Yellow Diaries programmed some of your stuff.
He produced majority of my album Only Just Begun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's amazing.
So, any interesting collaborators you're working with?
Co-produced Pehla
Pehla Nasha 2.0. Big
Yeah.
shout out to Weber Fani. We remain your fans. And yeah, man, I've been a groupie at Yellow Diary concerts.
I love Yellow Diary. I think it's a great band.
Lovely band.
Lovely band.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah,
any
some
interesting collaborations that you've done, or is it your thing?
I loved the one that I did with Callum Scott. It was a song called Always that I debuted at BMW Joytown as well. It's something that till date remains one of my most special records, even though it didn't get a lot of years. In the multiverse of so many songs being released, some get lost, and that was one of them. But it's a beautiful record. So if people are listening to this and you haven't heard that song, it's a song called Always with Callum Scott. Please go check it out. One of my favorite songs. And there's a song that I'm very, very excited about. It's a song called Seven. It's from my wedding album that I put out earlier this year. And I haven't released a music video for it, but very soon I'm putting a music video together and re-releasing it as a single. So you should definitely keep your eye out for that for Seven. And bunch of collaborations. I've been working in the UK for quite some time. I've been making a bunch of songs there, working with a lot of artists there.
I remember doing a Zoom with you when you were in London.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
I'm going back again. I'm touring in the UK as well in April. I have 2 shows.
Lovely.
I'm playing Indigo at O2 in London, and Leicester we're playing De Montfort. So it's beautiful to like go back again and like with my English songs, and like I've not toured there since in the last 8 years. So like I'm going with a really heavy duty discography now with like English and like Telugu and Hindi and everything. So I'm very excited about that. Collaborations wise, I have a bunch of like conversations that are happening. You know how it is. It takes 7 months or 8 months to make one collaboration happen between teams across countries. So yeah, I am the kind of person who hates talking about something before it's like culminated. So yeah, but very, very cool stuff happening, and you can always expect the unexpected from me. I mean, that is something that I
saw
maintain.
Callum open for Maroon 5.
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
Yes.
How good was he?
He was
man?
amazing.
He was so good.
Amazing. Yeah, beautiful.
And what a lovely vibe, and smiling guy. Fantastic.
We literally shot the video for Always when he was down here for Ed's show. Yeah.
Thing of beauty. Do you remember the Callum Scott song?
Yes,
Always.
of course.
Yeah, can you do that? Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
I don't need to fall asleep. It feels like I'm already dreaming. Pinch myself 'cause I still can't quite believe it. I'm falling in and out of love. I got so close to giving up, and you walked in and you gave me all I needed. Broken hearts ain't hard to find. Thank God that you found mine. I tell you things nobody knows. You know that I die to keep you close. You're the closest thing to heaven. Oh, when you're lost, a little low, you know that you'll never be alone. If it all falls down to pieces, I'll be there always, always. If it all falls down to pieces, I'll be there.
thing of beauty. Armaan, thank you for rolling by, brother. I wish you all the best in everything that you do in the future, and see you soon.
Yes. See you.
See you.
Thank you.
94.3 Radio 1.